thank you again for joining us for another episode of the Beyond the Clouds podcast. This is going to be episode 3. I am, as always, joined by my co-host, Declan Clark. Today we have our special guest, Alex from the Ohm Factory. Alex, how you doing, brother?
I'm great, brother. How are you, man?
Good, man. Good. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, of course, man.
For those of you that don't know Alex, he is like legit one of my favorite people in the industry. You know, aside from the fact that he's one of the people that are whatever good actor, whatever the opposite of a bad actor is. You know, he complies with all the stuff. He's very passionate about advocacy, not selling to kids, all that good stuff. But he also has this like ridiculously like infectious positive personality that like, dude, I swear, like if me and my girlfriend ever split up, I'm just gonna head down to one of your shops and talk to you for like 5 minutes. I'm just gonna freak the entire thing ever happened.
No, I got you, man.
So either way, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, man. This is fun.
So we're going to be adding in a new segment in this episode that, you know, basically we really should have had from the first place, but we kind of realized like we have guests on and then we don't really talk to them about their thing. Yeah, like, I mean, anybody that knows me and Declan is not surprised by that, you know, like, hey, there's this obvious thing that we should have been doing this whole time. Maybe we should start. So either way, so we're gonna start off with the product review. Then we're gonna talk a little bit about Ohm Factory. Then we're gonna move into talking about tariffs in our advocacy section. So let's talk about products. Cool. So our product review that we were going to do this week is going to be comparing salt devices, and we got some feedback from the people in AZ Vape Life about different salt devices. In the end, we decided that we're going to put the Breeze 2 and the Sprite head-to-head in this episode. So I usually have to ask, have you guys all tried them? I know for sure all three of us have tried them because the three of us have talked about this product before. So
Immensely.
So I have my Breeze 2 here. You have both. If you want to hold them up for the camera here. He's got a Sprite. So yeah, so between the three of us, we have 2 Breeze 2s, 2 Sprites. So Alex, you start off. What do you think? Thumbs up on both of them? Thumbs down on both of them?
Definitely thumbs up on both of them. Mm-hmm. For me, and of course, guys, you realize, I mean, every day there's a new salt device coming out. We all know that, right? So there's tons of devices out there, and realistically, there's one for everyone, right? It just depends on your style. You know, it depends on your draw. It depends on what kind of flavor you're looking for, ease of use, battery life. So, you know, I think I have probably 2 or 3 sitting at my desk now that I haven't even tried yet, right? So it's subject to opinion.
Oh, of course.
You know, so please keep that in mind.
Definitely.
But I love them both. I don't know. I've always kind of been a pretty big Aspire fanboy, I guess you could say. I just like their products, and they work well, both of them, I think. I just love the concept of their coils. Mm-hmm. I love how the Breeze 2 especially is top airflow, and you screw it on upside down, so you get. The thing with them primarily is you don't get any liquid into the devices. We all know that a lot of those small nicotine salt devices, the juice sometimes, either with condensation, gets into the actual battery, and we all know, we've seen them, they go bad. Yeah. I have not seen that happen with the Sprite or the Breeze 2 thus far. You know, I've seen some issues with the clips, but I think that's just letting people know, you know, you got to make sure to squeeze them and not just yank the thing out.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's the only problem I've had with one. My first Breeze 2, I broke one of the clips on. Yep. But yeah, same thing. Like, I was holding the buttons in when I tried to put it in. I broke it. But, you know, aside from that, these things can actually take a pretty good beating. Oh, God,
they can. And that's just it. I mean, I've dropped mine 1,000,000 times, and the pod go flying, and pick them up, click them right back in,
I
and
mean,
we're good to go.
The casing itself on these things is solid.
Yeah,
you know?
I agree. Overall, they're both really good. It's weird. I like the tighter draw. That's my thing, right? So that's why and I know this is going to be like, you know, but I like the Sprite a little bit better just because of the tighter draw, and, you know, this mouthpiece is going to be not for everyone. Some people will absolutely love it, and some people will be like, no, I don't like the way it feels. I love it because I feel like it's a little bit more condensed, and I get a smidget more, for me, flavor outside of the Breeze 2. But both of these, as far as flavor, are excellent.
Well, one thing I noticed too that I was a huge fan of is like on both of them, it's the adjustable airflow.
Yeah,
like, a lot of other pod devices have the adjustable. It's trash in my opinion.
Yep.
With these, it works. It's phenomenal.
Yep.
And it's you know, super good to just adjust it and figure out, you know, what's best for you.
Yep.
So that's why I'm a big fan of you know, the Aspire pod device, because you can kind of adjust it to your liking.
Yeah.
You know, one thing that I like, you know, I know this is technically kind of outside the format, but one thing I like about both of these, aside from other, you know, better than other pod devices or other MTL devices or whatever, is that it's not a closed system.
Yep.
You know, I like that I can put whatever juice I want to into it.
Excellent.
I like that both of them have coils that are low enough ohm rating that you could use non-salt juice in them if you so desired.
That's right.
Personally, I don't. I only use the salt in them, but I like that there is a 0.6 coil for both of these devices.
Yep. Yep.
So for me personally, I would say I think they are both very close if I'm trying to pick a winner, but I think for me I like the Breeze 2 a little bit better. I like that more like the airy draw, and I would say the you know, I think the flavor is a little bit more robust coming off the Breeze 2. It's very close though.
Super close.
So
I mean, it's almost hard to distinguish.
Yeah, very close. I also noticed that the coil life is also, again, very slightly better on the Breeze 2.
That I will agree with too. I mean, Aspire was very smart as far as like utilizing their previous PVC coils, right? Those coils have been around forever, right? I think it's genius on their part to actually incorporate that into the Sprite primarily.
Well, they also came out with the new one specifically for that.
That's right.
The 1.2.
Yep. The 1.2, and then the Breeze 2 has the 1 ohm.
There's a 1 ohm and a 1.2.
And a 1.2. So I prefer the 1 ohm over the 1.2. That's just me.
I agree. That's what I got in here right now.
The other thing that we forgot to mention, which I think is actually really important too, is their fill ports.
Yes.
Their fill ports are actually nice and big. You know, we all know, everybody knows that nobody really likes the glass droppers anymore.
Sure.
But on that occasion that the bottle does still have that, the opening on both the Breeze 2 and well, actually even the Breeze 1.
Yeah.
But the Sprite, it's just very easy to fill, and you're not getting so much of that, you know, where it fills up and you're backing up and it's getting juice everywhere.
Totally.
So love that as well.
Yeah.
Thought I'd mention that.
Yeah, and I'll also say that like, so the Breeze 1 was the first device that I was even able to use at all, like for salt, because like all the stuff before that I just didn't like. Like all I tasted was the nicotine. It was just, you know, it just tasted like pepper flavor.
Yeah, it was a little harsh.
And don't get me wrong, like I like pepper on my steak, but not in my vape.
There you go. There you go.
So either way, like I guess you know, it sounds like we have a consensus here. Both good devices, and it sounds like really the only difference between them is what type of draw you want on it.
Yeah.
So if you like a tighter draw, pick up a Sprite. If you like a little bit looser of a draw, pick up a Breeze. You're not going to go wrong either way. They're both awesome devices.
Yeah, even size-wise, they're very comparable.
Yeah, very similar. Very similar. So the other thing that we wanted to bring up during this, we're doing a little local product showcase here.
Hey.
We have some salt juice, and we actually decided to include this because this stuff comes from the lab that my juice is produced out of, and both of these retail gentlemen here sell it in their stores. I got to say, I've tried a lot of salt juice. Hands down, this one right here, Red, is like, it's the only salt juice I use anymore.
It's so funny. And for me, if most people that know me, I'm 100% dessert vapor.
Same here.
This vanilla custard, to me, is hands down the best vanilla custard salt out there.
Sure.
It's not overly sweet. The flavor is there, and you just don't get sick of it.
Yeah.
For me, anyway. I absolutely love this stuff.
Yeah, I exclusively vape on the mint, actually. That's
Oh my god,
it's so
that
weird.
wasn't even planned.
No, it wasn't planned at all. But like,
That's
I'm a mint guy because, you know, I'm terrible about replacing my coils with a mint.
Yeah,
you
same.
can just run that coil into the ground and you still taste that mint on there.
That's awesome.
So like, I'm really bad at replacing it. That's why I love that mint. A little bit of sweetness with it. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
You can't go
They
wrong.
killed it.
Yeah,
They killed it.
I'm not gonna lie. I have never tried the mint.
Really?
That's
I don't
good.
like
Mix
mint.
these two
good.
together,
Oh,
game changer.
man. Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see
Tropical
that.
mint.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll check it.
Phenomenal.
I'll check
Actually,
it
I'm
out.
going to try that too.
Yeah.
I haven't tried that yet.
Well, shit. I mean, we'll try that during the break here since we have these bottles.
The other thing that's cool though, like you said, is and they also have the two strengths. So they have the 20 and the 40.
Yes.
That's huge for me. I did the 40 and the 50, you know, for a long time, and it just, for me, it was just getting too much because, you know, I vape pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Once I switched to the 20 milligram, it was beautiful.
Yeah,
I was able to vape that all day
That's definitely
long.
a high selling point for me too.
Yeah.
I like that it's a comparatively low nicotine thing.
Yeah.
For it. So either way, we don't have any products to talk shit about, unfortunately. Everything we've discussed is awesome. Go get it. And then we will be back to talk with Alex here about Ohm Factory and, you know, just get his opinion on that stuff after this.
Hello.
That's Seinfeld.
Sorry.
So
Can't
either
help
way,
it. I'm a clown, man.
either way, no, and that's like again, that's one of the things I love about you. So Alex, this is your segment here.
Oh, boy.
For
Okay.
I know we just did this a second ago, but Alex here is the owner of 2 Ohm Factory locations. So you got one off of it's Gilbert and
Gilbert and Pecos.
Pecos.
Yeah, right across from the college there, next to the Circle K.
then your other one's on Greenfield and McKellips.
McKellips and Greenfield, yeah, right in the same plaza where there's that Walmart and the
Yeah.
Staples, and right across from Falcon Field. So yeah, that one's well, I guess a little history. So Gilbert Shops, we just celebrated our 3-year anniversary. I can't believe that we're there already 3 years. It's like a blink, honestly. And believe it or not, the Mesa location is coming up on almost a year already. I don't know how.
Awesome.
It's crazy, but I think September will be a year there. Yeah, and we've been doing it now for a total of a little over 3 years. Love it. Love our customers. I guess if most people that know me, I'm pretty enthusiastic because I actually love what I do.
It's a good way to put it.
Yeah, I absolutely love what I do. I love getting new products. I love when we have a new juice line that I'm passionate about because at the end of the day, it's really just getting you guys good products at a fair price. I mean that's really what it's about. And we all know that the vape community is a really tight niche community, and it's fun. It's just fun, we're helping people in a fun way, right?
Yeah, definitely. So one thing that I want to commend you on too, and I don't know if you just went out and found people with kind of similar personalities, or if you trained them to be awesome, but like your employees are all the shit.
Thanks,
I
man.
love
Yeah.
them.
That is a lot of work. We try to find like-minded individuals that really care about the industry, care about the product that they're selling, and at the end of the day, do need to be I feel enthusiastic. If you're gonna sell a product, be passionate about it.
Totally.
Love it. Do it because you care. So yes, that is kind of what we looked for. I almost had my chance on Declan. You guys got lucky. I'm really upset about that whole thing. We were talking about it earlier, but
Yeah. We were talking about that in the green room before we started, and by green room I mean the retail space.
And I'm sure I would cringe when I looked at my resume that I sent you because it was probably like years ago. I was
it was.
oh my god!
But
I
tell you what, that he is the type of person that you want.
Yeah.
He's passionate. He cares. He loves what he does. And at the end of the day, wants to give great products to the customers. So
and I'm very handsome, so there's that.
he is a pretty sexy bastard. I'll give him that.
6 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
I give him more than that. Come on, that's low.
Hey man, that's so
Jeez,
like
come on.
savage.
No. Let me say this though. That is above average. For the record,
slightly.
Slightly, but come on, everybody can't be above average. That's still a compliment. I feel like with most people, when you say 1 to 10, judge me. Like what they're really doing is the 5 to 10. Like if if it's like the ugliest person you've ever met, you're like, yeah, you're 5.
I wouldn't even want to ask that question. I don't nobody answer that, please.
Right.
Don't care. We're good.
See, Alex here is an 11.
No, I'm kidding. Tell my wife that. But no, I mean, Ohm Factory. It's it's a lounge. We like to chill. We like to have a good time. Either we're gaming, watching anime, or just hanging. And that's what it's about.
Yeah, I like the fact that you guys seem to have found that happy medium between being professional to the point of stuffy, and being unprofessional to there's vape shops I've walked into and the employee sitting there talking with his friends and I'm just trying to buy something and I have to wait for him to finish his conversation.
No.
And you guys are busy enough. It's sometimes and I know this is not a fault by any means, but when I come in and I'm trying to talk to you in your store and it's man, I'm just trying to have this 20-minute conversation with him, but 8 customers come in the meantime and I'm just come on, man.
And me, I like to get to everyone.
Yeah.
I'm Mr. Social.
Yeah.
Yes, I like to yap.
Well, that's the coolest thing. it's you know, people hanging out in there from, you know, all age spectrums. Like, you know, you have like a 40-year-old playing games with, you know, someone who's 21, and they're all included. And that's the thing that I dig the most about your stores. Just like everybody's included, everybody's, you know, getting along, and it's a good vibe in the store.
Yeah,
Thanks,
yeah, it's a very just, like,
huge
friendly,
for us,
like family environment.
Yeah,
that's the way it should. I mean, I don't know. It's like you said. You know, you've been into some places, and you almost feel like you're bothering somebody.
Yeah.
You know, right? Like, no,
Yeah.
you want to come in. What's up? You know, you don't want to buy a product. You want to hang out. Come hang out. You know, let's talk. Let's just, you know, just have a good time.
Yeah,
right?
no,
I mean,
and
that's
like,
the environment.
And you know, the way that I can tell that it's not just like an act for the customers is like when I go into his stores, I'm trying to sell him something, and I still get the same response.
That's right.
You know, like every time I walk into your store and you're there, I always feel like the response is almost like Dave, I was waiting for you. Thank God you're here. Like I love it.
That's
I
cool.
love it.
That's cool.
It's
Thanks,
great.
man.
So,
I'm very humble about it. Honestly, I try to stay extremely humble because, you know, at the end of the day, it's customer service.
Right.
You know, it's just getting good products and taking care of your customer. That's really what it's about.
and plus, if you're not humble, then people are just going to say that you're trying to be arrogant, and they're going to say you're copying me.
Yeah, this is true. There's only one Dave.
There is
promise
only
you that.
one.
There's only one.
Yeah, thank God.
You could never copy this man because he is the epitome of passion, right? I mean, realistically, right? I mean, you know, all the time you put into advocacy, which I wish I can do what this man does. I can't do that, unfortunately.
I mean, you know, it's
kids.
It's an important thing, and like,
It
yeah,
is
like
extremely
I'm kind of
important.
lucky in the sense that, like, you know, like I'm not married, I don't have kids. Like, if I decide that I want to work for 16 hours today, like nobody's gonna get mad at you for doing that. So,
Well, we appreciate it because, like I said, I know that not everybody can do that. So I will say, you know, from the vaping community, thank you, because I mean seriously. I mean, that's a big deal, and it's part of the reason why our shops are successful and why we still get to do what we love, right? Because at the end of the day, without that advocacy, without us showing that we actually care and you fighting for our industry, we may not be sitting here right now. So,
well, you know, and one thing I want to stress, like, because I made a post a couple days ago, because, you know, Wednesday of this week, August 8th, was the day that the original deeming regs would have put us out of business.
isn't that crazy?
And
Jeez.
it's, so I put up this post, and I was just like, yeah, like, thank an advocate. Like, the fact that you're still in business, you're still able to buy these products, like, that would not have happened if nobody was fighting.
Right.
And everyone was just like, thank you, Dave. And, like, don't get me wrong, like, you're welcome. But I also want to really stress that, like, I am not the only advocate by any means. I'm not the only advocate in the country. I'm not the only advocate in the state. I'm not even the only advocate in this room right now. Like, I'm just more vocal about it because, like, I get pissed off at people sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, like when we're out there doing advocacy things, I'm just like, fuck, man, like, why are there so few of us?
Yeah, they should be.
You know, and that's kind of aggravating. Yeah, but you know, like Arizona does have a higher participation rate than any other state.
Yeah, and that's super impressive. I mean, I heard some stories, you know, where you go to, you know, another state and they look at you like, what? What are you talking about? What do you mean advocacy? And that's kind of crazy to me. But
Outside of Arizona, I've had people ask me when my new flavor's coming out. I'm just like, what new flavor?
What new flavor? That's right. Wow.
Something you know that I don't.
Yeah, I was gonna say
What's going
because
on?
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, it just blows my mind that some people don't know like the basic things about it. But either way, Alex, you are awesome. Ohm Factory
Thank
is
you.
awesome.
Thank
If
you.
you are
Thank
in
you.
the East Valley,
Thank you.
stop by and see them. And we'll be back for more talk about advocacy after
that.
this. And we're back. Today in our advocacy segment, we are going to be talking about tariffs. And before you fall asleep, because I know this is a very boring topic, it actually very much does affect us. So in case you guys don't know what's going on, there's a little bit of a kind of like worldwide like trade war going on right now. Don't have an opinion on that as a whole either way, but because of the fact that the majority of our hardware is manufactured in China, that does mean that coming up here very soon, in a matter of weeks, the majority of vape hardware is going to be subject to a 25% tariff. Now, if you don't know what a tariff is, just substitute the word tax, and it's the same thing. You know, the minute that you know the product from China lands in America, 25% is added to it right then, and that's in addition to any sort of like sales taxes or anything like that's charged later on. So basically, that means that the price of your hardware is about to go up by a minimum of 25%. And realistically, it's probably going to be more than that because, like, I don't know about y'all, but generally, like, you don't want, as retailers, you guys don't want to invest money just to get that exact same amount of money back.
That's right.
If the cost of something goes up by 20% or 25% at the wholesale level coming to these guys, it's going to go up by a multiplier after that as well.
Well, and something that the average consumer doesn't really think about because it's not their job is we have to pay shipping on all of our stuff as well, and shipping from China is super expensive. I know you know that, or whoever else. You usually be paying $300-400 on a bulk order to get it shipped. Then we're gonna have to be paying more on top of that as well.
It is coming from literally halfway around the world.
Right. Yeah.
And the thing is, and we were talking about it a little bit beforehand, is we pay our share of taxes, right? We pay, our state tax, our income tax, all the taxes, locally at a local level, and to then get hit with something that is not really fair to us, one, and then I know you touched upon it's the fact that tobacco and all these guys pay that tax is because it's
the sin tax.
Right, the sin tax.
Yeah. So there's a lot of products out there that have they call them sin taxes because things like tobacco and alcohol. They say, well, people who use tobacco and alcohol end up running up additional government expenses for healthcare.
That's right.
Or if you get drunk and go and crash your car or something like that, that takes the police and the ambulances and stuff like that.
So that's almost understandable,
right?
I mean that's understandable.
Yeah,
rehab programs.
But we have the product. We have a product that's actually helping immensely with health. In a sense, right? Cutting out all the tobacco and the smoke and all that harmful stuff. So it's why are we paying?
Why are we paying a sin tax when there is no sin?
Right.
Yeah, and if we talk about that anymore, I'm gonna start yelling because that shit fucking pisses me off.
And it's warranted. It's 100% warranted.
Yeah, but I gotta maintain this suave and cool
demeanor. That's right.
Demeanor. That's what I'm looking
for. That's right.
Woosah.
Yeah, right. So either way, unlike previous advocacy segments and future advocacy segments, there's really no call to action on this one. There's not, write your senator and tell them this. It's just something we want you to be aware of. The price of hardware is about to go up, and that's going to cover everything from, tanks to mods to batteries, coils. Pretty much everything is about to go up in price. So, I'm not saying stock up, but stock up.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I think it's safe to say, or safe for me to say that, as a retail, owner and Declan as well, we're always going to do the best that we can.
Sure.
To not put that on the customer, right? I mean, we always do that, right? We know that if we get a juice line at a certain price, and now we're getting it at a better price based on volume that we take in. We lower our prices, right? We lower our prices so that the customer sees that benefit, right?
Yeah.
So I know, and I can't speak for everyone, that we will do our best, right? We will do our best so that it doesn't impact you guys.
Yeah.
But it's definitely, like Dave said, it's something that you guys, should definitely be made aware of because, there's always going to be that. There's always going to be us trying to constantly fight for our retail locations and for the customer, right?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we know it's a product that's better for you, and we want to be able to get that to you at a price that's fair.
Yeah. And that's just sticking with us, not coming in and yelling at the employee because the price went up.
That's right.
Our employees aren't the ones that's I'm going to add $5 onto this today. It's it's not getting an attitude with them because they're just doing their job and selling things at the price that owners or whoever else are putting it at.
Now the person you do want to yell at is the general manager.
Yeah, come in and yell at me. I wish you would, please. I love it.
That's kind of just like a state of the industry type of thing that we wanted to let you guys know about. It's coming. Of course, there's also the possibility at any day that basically like America and China are just kind of playing chicken right now with tariffs. So the minute someone blinks, it's all over. This may not last for very long. It could be a permanent thing. We don't know. Nobody knows. So just be aware of that. When you go in, a month from now, you go in to buy some stuff and it costs more. Don't blame these guys. Well, don't blame this guy at least. It's not Alex's fault. Declan
not mine,
did it.
I swear.
Yeah, it's all my fault.
Yeah, he was actually the one that proposed the tariffs in the first place.
Yeah. I put on my suit.
No, I got to clarify. I was kidding about that because there's at least one person watching the show that's going to think I'm serious. We don't.
Oh God, no,
we don't
that's
want,
we don't want that.
Yeah.
Poor Declan. I mean, on the line out here, but like, it was all your fault.
Right.
Yeah.
Should've cut this
Pitchforks,
whole-
Yeah, boycotting
and, you know,
signs
pitchforks
and
and
stuff.
Cut out this whole part, just not blame me.
Yeah.
Because I'm the one that edits these videos. So
Yeah, right.
just like,
that will be cut out definitely.
we have 3 or 4 commercials this episode.
Yeah, right.
It's so great.
I mean, let's face it, y'all watch the commercials anyway.
Yeah.
Commercials are great.
So
I love the commercials. I think they're all right.
yeah, so either way, that's our show, I think.
Yeah, good
Dude,
stuff.
Alex, like you have maintained your spot as one of my
I do.
favorite.
I try.
Love you,
I
brother.
really do.
Yeah,
Love
thank
you guys.
you.
So,
Thank you guys. These guys for having me, man.
Second
It's fun.
place, you guys for watching our show.
Yeah, heck
Thank
yeah.
you for joining us
Yeah.
for Beyond the Clouds.
Peace.